recording right now?
I am recording. Hey, Glenn.
We are in the Tikar village of Ngambe, on our way to see the Ngambe trench, or one of the trenches that was constructed by Tikar people to protect themselves from invaders, slave catchers, or people who just didn't have great intentions with Tikar people. One of the entrances that we attempted to go through, it was no way to get through, so I believe this would be a suitable entrance. So if I get bit by a snake, I'm in Ngambe. Oh my goodness. You're in a rainforest.
Okay, Glenn, how did the meeting go with the chief today?
The meeting with the chief of Ngambe was great.
What did you learn?
Well, the first thing that really touched home was that, number one, he welcomed me in. You know, like the other Tikar chiefs I've met, the other villages, they welcomed me in and encouraged more African descendants in the West who trace their roots to Tikar people to come back home to the Tikar villages. And but he apologized for any role that Tikar people played in selling slaves.
Right.
So he apologized. That was the first thing he did, and that's something I didn't expect. So that was moving in itself. But he gave a great oral history of Tikar people. You know, I thought we originated in the Nile region of Sudan, but he said that we go even further back than that, south of Yemen. He said we was in south of Yemen back when blacks was running ancient Egypt. You know, he gave a phenomenal chronological history of Tikar people. He said we've been in the Cameroon area for 800 years. And even the Tikar name is not our original name. That's a name that we evolved to in our 800-year experience here in Cameroon, that we had an ancient name and an ancient language. So that was interesting to find out. And he inspired me to dig a little deeper into that anthropological history.
Right.
You know, to get more evidence empirically, you know, to support the oral history. But it was phenomenal.
Okay, thank you.
So looks like
we made it to the trenches.
Yes.
To the trench. So here it is. You want to go down, or?
I think I'm going to be good right here. I went down inside the trench.
Because it's difficult for the video to capture something if somebody is not in.
Okay.
You know, so I don't know how we...
I don't know if I'll be able to get down there and get up, because that's mud.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll be able to get down and get back up.
Oh, you will be.
I doubt it.
Okay, so let me pause the video, okay?
I tell you what, I'll hold the camera and you go down there.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's go all the way this way and that way around the village. And there are 3 rings of trenches.
C'était plus profond que ça.
It was deeper than this. Then it got covered because the wood, and you see the roots of these trees. You know, trees are going in the trenches.
And this trench, from what the chief said, was how many years old?
I would say about 300 to 400 years old.
300 to 400 years old. Yep. And I'm going to give an idea of how deep it is today in 2013. I'm just going to scale up the wall beside you.
Right.
And now the camera is showing the top of the trench.
Right.
So even today in 2013, that is a deep trench.
Right.
So we can only imagine how deep it was 300 years ago in its first construction.
Right.
So one of the methods, defensive methods that Tikar people use to protect themselves from invaders, kidnappers, slavers, and just ill-intentioned war.
Right.
And it continues to circle. Now, if this particular trench, because from what we talked about in the time,
Yes.
that there are 3 rings. One ring that circles around the chief's compound,
Yeah.
and
Prince
that's
and his wives.
and then the second ring was for the important people in the village,
Yes.
and the third ring was for the village itself.
Yes.
So the ring that you are standing
Including the farms.
in the farm.